Yo everyone, Starter Protagonist is here. I've covered and played a bunch of games on this channel, that being Fortnite, some of the Mario games. I've played Zenless Zone Zero. There's a Foam Stars video in there somewhere. But as you may have noticed in the videos, I mostly play as the female characters in those games. I know that's not really shocking to most people, but it is a bit shocking. I wouldn't say shocking, but it's a bit surprising when it comes from, you know, maybe some of my friends, but also my cousins, as I do play a lot of video games with them, and they notice that I play as mostly the female characters. It's been like a habit to me, because I just, you know, there's been a lot of factors, you know, surrounding why I actually play as the female characters in video games and why I actually enjoy that aspect. And I'm sure you saw in my in some of my videos where I explained that I mostly run the female skins in Fortnite. So strap yourselves in for a story time. It's something that I've been meaning to explain to you all, because like I've been wanting to do a bit more of these personal videos of mine where I explain, give my experiences with video games. So I really hope you enjoy these types of videos, and if you do, then maybe consider liking the video and maybe subscribing to the channel with notifications on, so you get more videos like this. To start off with the story on why and how I got to this point in playing as female characters in video games for the most part. It started back in 2015. I was 15 years old. I was just starting my first year of high school. I had a few friends back then, and we do talk about anime and video games and stuff. I wasn't really that into the magical girl or shoujo type of thing just yet at that time, but I was watching Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and there was in one of the episodes, there was this one sequence where Vegeta and Gohan were talking while on their way to the other Dragon Balls that Vegeta had at his possession. And I remember him asking Gohan if he watched any of these particular shows, like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. But the one show he mentioned was Sailor Moon. And at that time, I did not know what Sailor Moon was. I did not know what it was about. So I asked my friend about it, who was also a fan of Dragon Ball. And I asked him what was Sailor Moon, and he did say for me to look it up. And so when I got home from school, I looked it up and see what it was about. I looked up the images, and little did I know this would actually be the one show that I would actually get into. But I think around that time, I did not know how to even get access to watching the anime that I was actually introduced to. So I went up on YouTube, and I wanted to see what Sailor Moon was about. I looked it up, and come to find out, there were actually 4 episodes of Sailor Moon. Little did I know it was the DIC dub of Sailor Moon, and at that time, Viz Media did not get the rights to the Sailor Moon property just yet. I ended up watching it on YouTube. It was the first 3 seasons, and as I was watching it, I was getting so hooked onto it. It was from the music, which was different from the dub, which was different from the sub versions, but I love the music, the soundtrack that DIC implemented. It felt so magical. It felt so chill. It felt it was really good. It was really beautiful to listen to, and I actually enjoyed it. I got so much goosebumps just from listening to it. And it wasn't just the music, it was the characters. Oh my god, Sailor Venus ended up becoming my favorite character of all time. I just love her personality. I love the vibe she gives, and the fact that she's also a blondie. I just love Sailor Moon a lot, and it pretty much brought that feminine side of me out. After watching the first 3 seasons, I wanted to figure out where I can watch more of it, because I heard there was actually more than just 3 seasons. It was also around the time where I was getting more into Dragon Ball as I kept getting Dragon Ball games, and as I kept watching the show. I was watching Dragon Ball Z on YouTube as well, because at that time I didn't know what Kiss Anime was about. So one of my friends from Xbox, she actually told me about Kiss Anime, which was a website where you can watch anime for free, and that's where I was able to watch Dragon Ball Super, and that's where I decided to watch the remaining 2 seasons of Sailor Moon, that being Sailor Moon Super S and Sailor Moon Stars. Now at that time, Sailor Moon Stars was in sub, so I had to get used to watching it in sub, and I actually enjoyed it. It was also around the time where that mobile game called Sailor Moon Drops was a thing, and I played it. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I really wish they would have continued on with it. That was one of the few types of media, video game media, that I can actually play. around that time when I was actually finishing up Sailor Moon, I wanted to watch more, you know, colorful, more girly, cutesy type of anime. And so this was where I started getting into Pretty Cure. And the first anime the first season that I've watched of Pretty Cure was Happiness Charge. I loved it a lot, and I wanted to keep watching it. So I ran into the dub version of Smile Pretty Cure, which was called Glitter Force. Loved it. I know a lot of people didn't really like it, but me personally, I find it as really good. It's not only good, but it was also like a guilty pleasure as well. Loved the soundtrack of it, even though it was heavily different from the sub version, but I actually liked it. It was really something. It was really something. And after watching that, I kept watching more Pretty Cure, and I kept watching more and more like these magical girl shoujo type of anime. This was around the time where I realized that, you know, I want to keep watching more of this. I wanted to, express more of that feminine side that was inside me. So obviously I kept this a secret. I obviously kept this to myself because, like, me being a black individual and in an environment where people can easily get judged for what they liked, I just kept it to myself because I wasn't really around the type of crowd who would actually enjoy this type of thing that I did. And it wasn't until late 2016, it was on September of 2016, where I had this group called the Pretty Cure Club, which I myself created. It was on Google Plus when that was a thing. And I ended up running into, this was where I ran into my first two friends. Well, my first three friends, actually. Well, not three. It was actually four people I actually ran into. Three of them you may have saw on the channel, which was Oliver Biddy Blush, Blazes Reacts, and W Jacob 1000. There was also a fourth person. His name was Pure Courage. I remember him actually creating like an intro for me because he was a fan of me. And around that time, we all of us became good friends. That was like me actually finally finding the right crowd, the right people that I can actually talk about Pretty Cure and stuff. And that was when I actually expressed more of my feminine side, not just through like Pretty Cure and all that, but sometimes I would also like try out different hairstyles where I would have my dreads into like twin tails or a ponytail. One day I would like to have my hair into twin buns. Like that's one thing I would like to have one day. And this is where it actually transitioned into video games. As I grew older and as I like increased my catalog of video games, I started leaning more towards the female characters. This is actually why I say the actual reason why I play as female characters in video games. It's because of my feminine side. As I grew older, as I kept watching like these magical girl type of anime, and as I started getting more into it, it pretty much changed me a bit as a person, as someone who used to more like mostly be into like the boyish manly type of stuff, but as I lean more into the girly type of things, it pretty much changed me as a bit as who I am. I also kept my sexuality the same because, like, you know, I love girls, I like coochie, but I really started to like cutesy things a lot more because like it just seems so refreshing. It seems so unique to me to be able to enjoy these types of aspects, whether it be like styling my hair, styling my dreads, or just playing as a specific cutesy type of character, or like watching anime that is like in the shoujo genre. I enjoy anime like Super Gals, A Little Snow Fairy Sugar. I even enjoy anime like Magic Knight Ray Earth, and as well as even cartoons like Lolly Rock and Star vs. the Forces of Evil. And one day I would like to get into Winx Club. Whenever I play Puyo Puyo Tetris, the characters I pick are mostly Feli, Draco Centauros, and Witch. When I play Zenly Zone Zero, I mostly play as the female characters, mainly Lucy, Evelyn, Yuzuha, Rina, and many more. And when I play Xenoverse 1 and 2, I create like my female OCs. But like not every game I play like has that golden rule. Sometimes I will pick any character in Smash Bros, any character that I can like have, that I can actually win with, any character that I'm really good at. And when it comes to fighters, I pretty much play as any other characters. Like, not every character, but any character that I can actually work with. Characters like Videl, Android 21, Ultra Instinct Goku, many more of that. So it doesn't really apply to all video games, but mostly video games that include a lot of female characters, and I will mostly play as them. And like I said at the beginning of the video, most of the skins that I run on Fortnite are female skins, whether it be from like the collabs to the originals, etc. I just love playing as the female characters, even in video games that are mainly female based, like, you know, for instance, the Sim and Kagura games or Love Live, or hell, I did playthroughs of the Pretty Cure video games, and all of them have female casts. At the end of the day, you can like whatever you like. You can play as whatever character you want whenever you're playing video games. It really doesn't matter, as long as you just enjoy doing what you're doing, and as long as you don't judge people on what they like and what they enjoy. Because me personally, I kept some of this stuff like as secret, you know, when I was in high school, because I was in the time where like people honestly get judged over what they liked. Like, I remember, like, whenever I usually talk about anime, or whenever I usually like talking about video games, sometimes I get called a game freak. I would get insulted because, like, me being close to being in high school, and yeah, I still enjoy playing Beyblades and stuff. It was rough. It was not the best thing when it came to like high school, and I pretty much explained in one of my videos where I wanted to move away from Mississippi. It was not a bad state, but the environment I was living in, and with how much I've been bullied around my time, I did have like suicidal thoughts. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a bit of suicidal thoughts, but I just kept going. I just kept going until I can at least escape high school. And I'm so glad I moved out of Mississippi when I was 18, and I was able to move, and I'm now living in with my sister, and I was able to like experience my last year of high school with my nieces. So that was the best moment of my life. That was one of the best moments of my life. Now at the age of 25, I still enjoy the things that I do, the things that I play, and the things that I watch. Whether it be magical girls or shoujo, you know, or shonen, it doesn't matter to me. I like what I like. I enjoy playing what I play, and it doesn't matter to me. When it comes to female characters in these games, they can be really cute, really adorable. Sometimes they can be sexy and all, and sometimes they can be badass too. It doesn't matter to me. As long as that female character is enjoyable to me, that's something I'll continue doing. But I would like to know, like, what video games do you play? What anime do you watch? Hopefully it's not all mainstream anime like the Jujutsu Kaisens and the Dragon Balls and the Narutos and all that. Like, something like, at least have some like diversity into your catalog of anime as well as video games. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. I don't really get that personal in my videos, and maybe if you guys enjoy this type of content, I might do more of this in the future. But until then, this is the Protagonist signing out. As always, Goki Genyo, and have a startastic day, everyone. If you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn those notifications on to join the Star Nation. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter, and while you're at it, check out my previous video. Now.